What is going on, everybody? Joshua here again with Reasonably Prepared, and today I want to go over with you the 8.5 things that you must always have in your vehicle at all times. Foundational, period. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? Joshua here again with Reasonably Prepared, and once again I want to go over the 8.5 things I believe are the most important things foundationally you do need to have in your vehicle. And if you stick around to the end, there'll be that 0.5. It's just something I need to work on, and I thought it'd be a good little piece of information for you as well. Hey, if you like my videos and you're finding them helpful, punch that like video like it stole your car. Leave it in the comments below. Let's engage in conversation and let me know if there's anything else you would like me to talk about, and I'd be happy to do videos on it. So let's get into it. Number one, and I'm going to say it's the most important. It's the most important because I've been stuck in places where I didn't have these two things. It is the importance of having a functioning spare and car jack in your vehicle. Most vehicles come with jacks. Almost all new vehicles do, actually. They come with a jack and they come with a spare. Some spares are small little donuts, some are full size, but they all come with them. And I can't stress to you enough the importance of making sure you have a spare that has air in it and a jack that functions for your vehicle. And it's also, I'd like to say too, that it's important that you know how to change a tire. Practice it if you've never had a flat tire, but it's important to know how to use those as well. So, hey, if you want me to do a tire change video, I can do that as well. Let me know. I'd be happy to show you how to change a tire if you don't already know. But number one is make sure you've got a spare with air in it, which will mean checking it regularly, and making sure you've got a car jack that will work for your vehicle. I can't tell you how important that one is. All right, number two, jumper cables. You have to have jumper cables in your vehicle. It's another one I can't stress enough. I mean, consider, have you ever been at the supermarket or out in the store, around town, or even at work, and someone's like, hey, you got jumper cables? I need a jump. Hey, my battery's dead. I need a jump. Or have you been stranded yourself because your battery is dead? It's something that gets easily overlooked, but is super duper necessary. And once again, know how to use them. Have jumper cables. It's going to get you out of so many binds, and you'll be able to help other people too. I can't tell you how many times I have needed jumper cables, and I typically always have them. No, I do always have jumper cables because you got to. So number two, jumper cables. All right, so number three is an IFAK, or individual first aid kit. Really, any first aid kit is going to help. I mean, anything is better than nothing. So even a $10 or $15 first aid kit that you can buy most any place. I'll throw links in the description below for different first aid kits and for anything else I talk about here on this video today. But it's super important to have a first aid kit because it's so versatile to use. I mean, you can use it anything from, you get a nasty bug bite, to small cuts, to helping other people out. If you come up on an accident, at least you've got something. There are first aid kits that are big and small, but as far as having it in your vehicle, a basic first aid kit with maybe a cold compress, make sure you got some bandages in there, keep some Tylenol and things like that in there, because we spend so much time in our vehicles that you're eventually going to need one. I'm sure if you really thought about it, you can think of times where you did need one or could have used one and just didn't have one. So number three, first aid kit. Number four is a functioning, bright enough flashlight. Preferably a headlamp, actually. I find they do work a lot better, but really any good quality flashlight is going to work for you. Because the truth is, you're not going to change a spare out in the dark with a crappy flashlight. You're not going to find your way home after you break down with a crappy flashlight. You're not going to use jumper cables or see things properly with a junk flashlight. But make sure you've got a good enough flashlight that works well. That means make sure it functions. Be checking it often, every month or two. Make sure it's functioning and you don't have to replace those batteries. That way it works for you when you need it. I have, once again, used a flashlight so many times in my vehicle, I can't even count them. I mean, for so many different things. So number four is make sure you've got a functioning flashlight at all times in your vehicle. Also, side note, they're easy to just stow away in a side console or center console, so you're always accessible. Just always have a good working flashlight accessible. Make sure it's there. You have to have it. Okay, number five. Number five is I recommend to make sure you've got an atlas and specifically maps of your area. Maps where you live that you can pull out. So that if something were to happen where, they shut things down, it might be a storm, might be a hurricane, that you have a tangible physical way to plot out a course and get out of danger or get into places where you need to be, especially if technology breaks down. Make sure you've got an atlas or maps. Number 6, I always keep some amount of water and snacks. Okay, that's going to be bottled water, individual bottles of water in the trunk. I keep a gallon of water at all times in my vehicle. I would steer clear of the milk jug style because those plastics are flimsy. They like to break down. They like to get holes poked in them. The rectangle ones with the handles on the top, the hard clear ones, those are the better ones if you're going to just stow those. And then some form of snack. And I'm not talking about chips. I'm not talking about junk food. I'm talking about some high impact food, but that you also enjoy eating. If you put a bunch of junk, stuff in there like these power protein bars that just taste like garbage, they're not going to do you any good if you're stressed out and you need those snacks because you're in a bind or because you're broken down or because you're lost. So make sure you've got water and high impact, good snacks, and you're going to want to cycle those through. Don't just leave them there and 2 years later go, oh, I've got this bar and it's expired. Make sure every few months or 6 months you pull the ones out, eat them, and put new ones in. And I'm talking Cliff Bars, vacuum sealed jerky, almonds, just once again, high impact, good foods, not chips and candy bars. Those aren't going to do you any good. So number 6 is make sure you've got water stored and good high impact snacks in your vehicle in case of an emergency. Okay, I'm on to number 7. Yeah, okay, I'm on to number 7. One day I'll learn how to count. I'm on to number 7, and number 7 is going to be have a good small toolkit in your car. These are also pretty inexpensive. You can get a good sized toolkit, and a toolkit's going to have Phillips head and flathead screwdriver. It's going to have some pliers, and it's going to have some wrenches or ratchets. They're just smart to always have in your vehicle in the event of minor, small repairs that you might need to do. So number 7 is going to be make sure you've got a good toolkit. They're going to have screwdrivers, ratchets, wrenches, and pliers in them. All right, number 8. Number eight is going to be I always keep a knife and some cordage or rope, preferably paracord or what they call 550 cord because it's super cool stuff, in your vehicle. So some pocket knife or a fixed blade knife. I like just keeping a fixed blade knife in my truck. A knife is the single greatest tool ever invented. I'm going to do probably a whole video on just why you should have a knife, because they're the greatest thing ever invented ever in the history of man. But make sure you've got a good fixed blade or a good quality pocket knife. Once again, all of these are reasonably inexpensive, and I can't tell you how many times I've needed rope to tie something down. Ratchet straps are another good idea to have if you've got a truck. Always keep some ratchet straps, but it's one of those things that you start carrying it, you find really awesome uses for it. So a good knife and a small amount of rope in your vehicle at all times is worth its weight in gold. Okay. There we are. Those are 8. Brings me to 0.5. 0.5 is just some little nugget that I'm terrible at, and I'm learning to get better at it. And I'm trying to teach my kids, and I can't tell you how fundamentally important it is. And that's to keep your car clean and organized so that when you're in motion, things aren't tripping you up. When you're in an emergency, you know where your things are. When other people need to come with you, you've got room for them in your vehicle. So if there's some trash from fast food, throw it away when you get out instead of leaving it in there. If you've got books and papers piling up, find a place for those notebooks to go so that they're not just piled up everywhere. Once again, I'm not trying to preach at you. It's something that I have to work on, and I figured, hey, if I let you guys know that it's not a strong point for me, but I think that it's important, hopefully that helps you as well. My little 0.5 nugget is going to be make sure we keep our cars and vehicles tidy and organized. All right, so that's it. 8.5 foundational. If you own a vehicle, these have to be there. These are all things that are readily had anywhere for reasonably inexpensive prices, from cheap to expensive. Just make sure you've got good quality ones so that they function and work for you well. If you like my videos, please, once again, smash that thumbs up button. Leave it in the comments below. And hey, did I forget anything, or is there something that you think is equally as important that you always have in your vehicle? Let's share that information in the comments below and be generous with the things that we know. Remember to subscribe and hit the little bell notification so that you get alerts when stuff comes out. All right, there we are. And remember, prepared does not equal paranoid. Have an awesome day.